The Buccaneer project is funded by the European Regional Development Fund through the Ireland-Wales Cooperation Programme.
Welcome to the Buccaneer video series. This is one of 2 short videos which will help you to discover, define, develop and deliver your skills around market validation. This is video 2, Develop and Deliver. If you're new to the series, market validation is just a small part of the wider Buccaneer journey, which includes all stages of the innovation process for small, growing firms. Whether you're interested in coming up with new products, validating them in new markets, or protecting your intellectual property and building your networks to exploit it, there's a video for you. Let's talk about developing the minimum viable product. The minimum viable product is the smallest or simplest thing that you can build or provide that solves enough of the customer's pains that they will pay for it. This is the Lean Canvas. It's a useful tool for helping you identify your minimum viable product. It helps you to identify your business model on one page. It is highly simplified, but it is also easy to keep up to date as things change in your business. In Box 1, identify the top 3 problems that your product, process or service will address. In Stage 2, we're looking at the customer segments. Who are we creating value for? Whose problems are we solving? We need to match the customers to the problem. Sometimes it's appropriate to start with the customer first, especially when you're looking to move into a new market. Thirdly is your unique value proposition. We talked about this in the video on ideation. Next, you fill in the solution. Start with those top 3 features. Remember the FAB from market validation? Our features, attributes and benefits? You can use that model here. In Box 5, the key metrics. Think about the key activities that you need to measure and what those measurements might be. In Box 6, we're looking at revenue streams. What value will our customers really pay for? How are they paying us today? How would they like to pay? And what are the main revenue streams? In number 7, think of the unfair advantage. What is it that can't be easily copied or bought that you can provide to the market? In Box 8, the channels. Channels is the word that we use to describe how a product reaches a customer. You need to think about how you're going to deliver your value. What do the customers use? Where would they go to find your product, service, or process? Lastly, cost structure. You only need to think about 2 things. What are the main costs in our business model? And what activities and resources drive these costs? These are areas where you can drive efficiency and cost savings as well. You need to build a minimum set of features that enable you to gather feedback from visionary early adopters. But build only what is required. Later on, you can think of the additional things that you can add to make the product better and use this to enhance your position in the market. Having identified what the product is, we are going to analyze the competition. Your analysis starts by identifying what are the 2 main customer benefit drivers. These are the most important aspects of your value proposition. You need to estimate where you are on the chart and then create a bubble which shows your size of the market share. You can then repeat this for your competitors. At this stage, your market validation is all about picking the correct strategy that will help you to differentiate yourself from your competitors. Where is the space in the offering? How big is the potential market share? You need to get to know your competitors as well as you know the back of your own hand. You need to think like a detective. Find out everything that you can. First, list all of the competitors. Next, discover their prices, their costs, their annual number of sales if you can. What do they boast about on their website? And most importantly, what don't they talk about? Before we can talk about routes to market, we have to define 2 key areas, the customer and the consumer. If you've never done this before, remember that the customer is the one who pays for the product, but the consumer is the end user. A common example is in children's clothes. The parent is the customer, but the child is the consumer. The routes to market are commonly found in 3 areas. The first is direct sales to your end user, the customer or consumer. This can be done by a salesperson on the road, on the phone, via contracts and tenders, or by retail in-store or online. Intermediaries. These are wholesalers or customer service providers. These are business-to-business sales. Neither of these is the consumer of your product or buying them on behalf of their consumer. They buy your product or service to sell on to others. Lastly, are strategic partnerships. These are license agreements embedded in another product or sold alongside another product. This is where you sell or agree to sell your product in, with, or as part of another in order to generate sales for both partners. To get your product out quickly, you need to have a targeted, narrow market and know how sales happen for that group. The minimally acceptable feature sets with the correct customer benefits for your target segment are key to entering the market quickly. Seeking feedback from your customers and keeping records of customer service interactions are particularly important in helping to continuously improve your product in this early stage. Market validation doesn't just happen before sale, but during and after also. Remember that your minimum viable product is not your final product. It allows you to enter the market quickly, start to gain market share, but most of all, it gives you the opportunity to gain customer feedback to develop the next product. During your ideation, innovation, and market validation processes, you may find that you're doing something completely new to the market and you want to protect it from others. To learn more about intellectual property and how to protect it, see our next video, Discovering Intellectual Property. If you think you're ready to get out and sell, then you're ready to start the process of commercialization. Thank you for watching this short video, part of the Buccaneer Innovation video series. Please visit www.buccaneer.eu to find out more.